When the beehive is shaken, the bees don't ask who rattled it, they sting whoever is closest. That, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly what just happened in Kenya's courts. Safaricom, the country's most powerful company, the backbone of communication, the trusted custodian of your private data, has been exposed by one of its own employees. And this revelation didn't come from activists, politicians or opposition bloggers. It came under oath in a courtroom where lies carry the weight of perjury.
Your Honor, there is an indication in the request that the offense was related to cyber crime investigations. And the record required was that the investigating officer be provided with registration details for the account, and communication data for the period between 15th September the year 2024 to 13th November the same year 2024, Your Honor. A copy of the request letter, Your Honor, is available for this court.
The date, November 14th, 2024. The case, Republic versus David Mokaya. What many Kenyans now say, Ruto versus David Mokaya. A young man accused of posting a doctored funeral image of President William Ruto on X, formerly Twitter. The charge, spreading false information under the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Act. During the hearing, Mokaya's defense team led by Danstan Omari and Ian Mutiso, not just on their client's charges, but on Safaricom itself. Their cross-examination cornered a Safaricom employee. He admitted that he personally handed over call data records, triangulation details, and communication logs of Mokaya to the DCI without a court order.
You have just stated to the court that you are an officer staying at Safaricom.
That's true. That's true.
Okay. You have also testified that CDR records, call triangulation, and also tracing was done for the accused person. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Kenya's Data Protection Act is unambiguous. Call data, triangulation, geolocation records, these are highly sensitive. By law, they can only be released with judicial approval. No shortcuts, no favors. Yet here was Safaricom's own man confirming that a direct line had been opened between the telco and state security, bypassing the courts entirely. This isn't just a technical violation, it is a betrayal of trust. For years, Safaricom has positioned itself as neutral, denying allegations that it aided the state in tracing critics during the Gen Z protests that ended in abductions, disappearances, and even deaths.
Recent issues and developments which have been raised with us and with me. The first is, I want to start by sincerely apologizing for our network outage that started on the 25th of June. This network outage was occasioned or caused by reduced bandwidth on some of the cables that carry our internet traffic. Please note that this did not only affect Safaricom, but also affected the whole industry. We are doing everything to ensure that we give you the service that you deserve, and also we bring back service as soon as possible. Safaricom is known as a Kenyan company, has Kenyan roots, and serves all Kenyans without discrimination, and will continue to do so now and in the future. Now, turning on to the topic of the Finance Bill 2024, I wanted it to be on record that Safaricom, like many corporates, and also the broader industry, presented its views to the government and also to Parliament as part of the public participation process and our views and presentations are well documented and recorded. Now, turning on to recent social media comments that Safaricom discloses information about customers or their location. I want to be very emphatic that Safaricom does not disclose customer information or their location. We adhere to the laws of the land in terms of data privacy, and we have done so in the past. And
let's pause on the irony here. Safaricom, the same company that issued glossy press statements denying involvement in political crackdowns, is now tied to a confession that confirms what many Kenyans suspected all along, that the network we all depend on may be weaponized against us. Think about it. Over 40 million Kenyans rely on Safaricom not just for calls and internet, but for M-Pesa, the financial lifeline of the nation. To imagine that the very data from these systems can be handed to the state without oversight is chilling. And this case isn't abstract. It's not about nameless victims. It's about real people. Names like Albert Ojwang, one of many abducted during protests, tracked allegedly through phone records. Survivors told stories of torture. Families never saw their loved ones again. For years, these allegations were dismissed as rumors. Now, the court turned rumor into record. Mokaya's lawyers didn't miss a beat. They grilled the Safaricom employee relentlessly. Were you provided with a court order? No. Are you aware this violates the law? Hesitation, deflection, eventually silence. The admission was explosive. The defense pointed to a 2018 High Court ruling, Okia Omtata versus Communications Authority, that explicitly required court orders for such data releases.
Are you aware that in 2018, in a High Court petition, Okia Omtata versus Communications Authority demanded that if such information, such as CDR, triangulation, and call data was to be produced to a third party, a court order must be produced?
You're one of the...
I'm just to find out if you're aware on it. That's all. It's a yes or no.
The best of my knowledge, Your Honor, the aspect of triangulation is for the active...
You say your name is Mr. Daniel.
Yes.
It's a yes or no answer. If you don't know about the matter, it's okay. I want to move quickly. The court is very strange on time.
Your Honor, I'm not very much conversant with if there was such a ruling.
By bypassing these, Safaricom not only compromised Mokaya's rights, but also trampled on a legal precedent. This story is about more than one young man or one company. It's about how power operates in Kenya. Safaricom isn't just a telecom giant. It is a national institution, woven into every household, every business, every transaction. Its proximity to the state makes it both indispensable and dangerous. What does it mean for democracy when the tools of communication become tools of surveillance? When dissent is criminalized, not just in the streets, but in the very networks that connect Kenyans. The Safaricom employee may have thought he was just following orders, but in that courtroom, under oath, he peeled back the curtain on a truth Kenyans can no longer ignore. The question is not whether Safaricom is compromised. The confession has answered that. The real question is, what will Kenyans do with this knowledge? Because as the proverb goes, the axe forgets, but the tree remembers. What do you think? Drop your comments. Newsroom, Maisha TV, Bushabi Jr.